Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Off Grid Style. So, today I'm doing a little bit more of a human interest story. I did find this in the Daily Mail, and I like the Daily Mail for its human interest stories. I'm not much of a fan of some of their other reporting, but I found this. I like this type of reporting that they do. And this particular article kind of shows just literally what people are having to deal with and how bad things have gotten with our border. So, this is about an elderly Arizona rancher on the front line of the migrant crisis. For 4 generations, Chilton's family of cattle ranchers have worked the vast lands of southern Arizona right by the Mexico border. After nearly 150 years, their business and their way of life is under threat. The migrant crisis, which has gripped America, has turned the Chilton Ranch into a perilous corridor used by hundreds and sometimes thousands of people each month to cross into the country illegally. So this man is living with this, and his family is dealing with this as well. Patrols by Jim, who is 84 years old, across this ranch, and this ranch is 3 times the size of Manhattan, are no longer all about his cowboy duties of like looking for cattle and tending the land and fixing his fences. No. He also has to look for rescuing migrants who collapse, dehydrated and exhausted as they trek across these remote and unforgiving lands. And now he's discovered, because of cameras that he's put up, that he is being watched by armed cartel members who are equipped with scoped rifles and night vision goggles, who watch and traffic the people across his land and into America, and then from there, God knows where. So Jim says, we know we're always being watched of the cartel patrols which survey his land before sending migrants across the border. So they keep an eye out to see what's going on, and then they send everybody across his land. The problem in our area in the last 3 years has intensified immensely, he said. He lives with his wife, Sue, who is 81 years old, and they live in a circular house on the ranch to have a 360-degree lookout. Around 250,000 migrants crossed the southern border illegally in December alone. Across the whole of 2023, there were more than 2.5 million encounters of migrants at that border, according to official data. The borderlands of Arizona have become a hotspot for crossings. The growing problem has compelled the Chiltons to testify before Congress about its impact on their lands. Jim has also campaigned in support of Donald Trump's border wall. The Chiltons, whose home is 9 miles from the Mexico border, have discovered 150 smuggling trails on their land in recent years, along with evidence of drug smuggling. They have installed a network of security cameras to monitor the ranch, which regularly picks up large groups of migrants who have recently entered the U.S. and have also offered to arm their team of 5 working cowboys. Jim takes a handgun with him during rides onto the land, partly for protection from members of the Sinaloa cartel, one of the world's most dangerous criminal gangs, who control the smuggling in his region. He also carries a satellite phone because much of the land has little to no phone signal. So that's kind of scary, and that is also a danger for those who are traveling across his land on foot. Jim has also grown used to discovering the debris left behind. Empty water bottles, discarded clothing, and shoes litter the trails, which cut across the landscape. He also frequently encounters human victims, including sick children crying out for help and dehydrated adults who have been exhausted by their journey into America. This is how sweet this man is. They have installed several water fountains across their land to try to help the migrants who cross it. Basically, he can't fight it, so at least he's trying to help them survive it, I guess is the best way to put it. Jim said, just when you think you've seen everything, this place still shocks you. And that's what he told the New York Times when they went out with him in January on a ride as they encountered a makeshift camp with dozens of migrants who were on his land. With Sue, he has campaigned for years for measures that will secure the border and also keep the legal pathways to asylum in the country. He said recently to Fox News, "We are a nation of the rule of law. We need to stop people just having the idea that they can walk into the United States. They're entering our country unseen, and they could be terrorists," he said. "I'm really concerned. If our adversaries around the world want to bring terrorists into our country, this is the route." His family first arrived in Arizona in 1888, and they have spent 4 generations working ranches in the state. And they've also considered selling their current ranch because of all of this that they're dealing with. That is so sad. That is awful. It's sweet that he has put up these water fountains at his own cost, but this is so sad that this is going on, and it's happening everywhere. It's not just this man. It is everywhere around the border. Just to give you some informational numbers, some statistics of how bad this has now gotten, because most places you look and listen to don't necessarily share all of this information. In 2022, there was a record of 2.2 million illegal border crossings. These don't include crossings at official checkpoints. Including those, migrant crossings in 2023 fiscal year hit a record high. That's a very, very large number, 2.2 million illegal border that they know of. And that's the thing, is all these people traipsing across this poor man's land, they're not being counted anywhere besides by the cartels who are taking money from these people to get them across. It's just getting to the point where you're wondering what the actual ulterior motive is for all of this. And I think that for a lot of us, we're seeing signs of what that possible ulterior motive could be. Fox reported last week that the DHS officials told lawmakers that there were around 670,000 gotaways who slipped past Border Patrol agents. They're releasing an average of 5,000 illegal immigrants a day to non-governmental organizations, those NGOs. Gotta love them. And how many were deported in 2023? U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement deported more than 142,000 immigrants in fiscal year 2023, nearly double the number from the year before. That's because nearly double came through. It has just gotten to its own type of epidemic, and something has to be done about it. A lot of these people, if you look at them, they are military-age males, and it starts to make you wonder what is going on and what is the big scheme for all of this happening, because there must be one. There has to be. So I just wanted to share this story with you, poor Jim and his wife Sue, and what they deal with and how sweet they were to set up water stations for these guys or these people, and how awful it must be to live that type of life in the country that you believe is, for your rights and your protection. And apparently it's for other things these days. I hope you all have a great afternoon.